Well, it's a completely different profession. I mean, I can't even, there are very few parallels. The kind of the main thing I would say is that I myself am somebody who's kind of been in the connective tissue between those worlds my entire life. And so for me, that wasn't a big shift. I kind of, I shifted my focus, but I kind of stayed the same. If you're a pure academic, to become a businessman would be incredibly difficult, and vice versa, right? But if you think about what research in industry does, then you spend you spend just as much time and effort on your research as an academic professor, say in a university. But your day job isn't to run a school, it's to run a software company and to run a business, right? And so if you're happy replacing, teaching students and writing grants and so on with writing software and like, building products and coaching your employees, then you're already kind of in that connective tissue yourself, and you're already
in terms of AI, because we're talking about AI and data science, big data. Is there a strong connection, in your opinion, or
between academia and industry?
Yeah, what you did, for example, if you can talk about what you did with Yahoo and Amazon, is it like an academy in a disguise, or is it like nothing compared with R&D in the university?
No, I mean, so they're similar and different in many ways, okay? But it's definitely not a disguised academia, right? It's not a CS department kind of hidden inside Amazon. It was like somebody secured a few $1 million for, just to run this Skunkworks project, and some people there sit there and write papers. That doesn't, well, maybe it happens in some places, maybe in Microsoft back in the day, but not anymore that I know of, okay? The focus that research in industry usually has is a lot more immediate in terms of horizon. And you wouldn't see people, for example, spending years on hardness results, on like deep, kind of very, very kind of fundamental, issues that would affect kind of the way the world would look like in 30 years. That would be very hard to actually justify in terms of the business. If your research looks like that, if that's the thing that drives you, then industry research isn't the thing for you, right? Because you're just not going to be very happy there, or just not be very productive or useful for the business, in which case you probably wouldn't enjoy that very much. But if you're like me, where your research really has to do with, how do I take this kind of theoretical result or this, provable algorithm, right? Which in terms of, if you want to, like analogy would be kind of somebody planted a pole on the top of the mountain, says, okay, theoretically we can get here, right? And how do you build a highway there? How do you make the research, the algorithm, technology so well understood and kind of solid that does like anybody can go there now, right? So now it's not a theoretical thing, it's like an actual path and everybody can enjoy it. If your research looks like that, and my entire research has almost always been in that vein, then that's very gratifying, because you get to not only design and build and figure out the path, you actually get to build it, and you get to enjoy people actually using it and enjoying the result of that. So if you're in that space, then yes, those become very similar. And by the way, a lot of research in academia looks like that, and those scientists end up actually themselves kind of have an easier transition between academia and industry because of that.